if you've ever thought, yeah, I have a few dollars in the bank, or I have $100 in the bank, I'm gonna go treat myself to a $2 or $3 drink, and then all of a sudden, bam, overdraft fee. Hit that subscribe button. Bookkeeping, accounting, balancing the checking account, balancing the checkbook, reconciling. These are all fancy names for basically pulling your receipts and your bank statement and putting them into categories, pulling out a calculator and figuring out what your spending habits are. And the reason why this is so important is because, number one, if you set a budget, that's how you show yourself whether you're being accountable to it and where you're overspending. And you track your accounts and where your money goes, it gives you a picture of your spending habits. And not only that, but you can actually also detect some errors that could occur. I'm going to have a couple tips and tricks in there. My first hot tip is to go to a credit union. So if you're using one of those big name banks, they probably have like a $25 to $35 overdraft fee and all sorts of other lucrative fees that is lucrative for them. Whereas credit unions will actually, they still have fees, but they will be more on the length of $4 to $12. So that would be my first hot tip, is to switch banks to a credit union. Here's a list of things, and here is the actual things. I have my bank statement and my pen, my calculator, and my paper, which I keep everything in a notebook. And also my list of automatic payments is listed already in my budget. I have categories written down. And then I have a whole nother page where I can write other things, or if there's overflow from any of these categories that I didn't have enough space for, I will just write them here. So what I'm doing now is basically I'm looking at my bank statement, and I'm going to look at the first line, which is restaurants, and then basically I'm just going to come over here and go through the list, and wherever I see a restaurant, I'm going to just make a little notation next to it. I'm going to circle the amount which has different restaurants. Then you're going to add up those amounts on your calculator. And then you're going to have an amount for restaurants. For my budget video, this is the made up budget that we just did in a few minutes. And I'm going to say $32.50 was the total amount. Then you see right here we had budgeted out $100 for eating out. If those were the only 2 times we ate out, then your total would go here. So we came in way under budget here. And you just do the same thing, repeat the process for all your different categories. It's that simple. Simple, yes, but it's like working out. You don't want to do it. Sometimes you just put it off. But once you're doing it, it's not that bad. And once you're done, you have like a rush of endorphins, like, yes, I did it. Let's check it on our to-do list as done. So don't need to do it for like another 2 weeks or another month. How regularly you do it will depend on you. This is how I do my reconciling. There are different systems and methods out there. The important thing to me is that you start something, you stick to it, and then you figure out what works for you and adapt accordingly. There is systems that people recommend, like Dave Ramsey's cash envelope system, and then there's also Jordan Page's. She does something similar, but she doesn't actually have like cash in the envelope, so you could probably YouTube search her and find out. Point is, there are different systems out there. You can also use like a checkbook registry, or you can use bullet journaling to track those kinds of things. But the important thing is that you try it and you make it work for you. If any of this information was helpful for you, or you like this content, then go ahead and let me know by giving me a thumbs up or inserting a comment down below of how you would do it better, I am totally open to criticism, because I know this is what's working for me now, and it's not, it could evolve into something more efficient. So likely I will probably do another video like this in another 2 to 3 years. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. There's something that won't let me forget the way that you move.